That's my daughter. I told her, don't be finding a boyfriend, and she's over there.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. 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 No KKK, no fascist USA.
Wesley Clark.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. 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 No KKK,
That says it all right there. Guys,
no KKK, no fascist USA.
come out of your bubbles.
No KKK, no
Come out of your bubbles. Come get your voice heard. Every day, be active. Do something. Get your money out of these banks. Yeah. We have renewable energies. We have oil that we could use for hemp oil. You know, we don't have to use that. We could use that for diesel. We could use it for our paper, for our plastic, for our clothing. That's what. There are alternatives. There's wind energy, solar energy. There's no need to pollute our water, make us pay high rates for it, sell it back to us, pollute it, sell it back to us. It's not right. You can't do this. Look at these people. You know, they're not scared. They're fighting back. They're fighting back.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump.
They're fighting back. And you know what? Voices need to be heard. We may not be the richest people, but you know, we got to use what we got to get what we got out there. And you know what? Do what's right. We got to do what's right, you know? And you know what? There's plenty of them against us, and we got to be plenty against them. And you know what? That's just the way it is. This is the world we live in today. And you know what? You don't think this is a war? A spiritual war? These people? That's what they want. They want about it. Okay. Okay.
No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA.
Make your voice be heard. Put it out there. What's up?
No Trump.
What's up? Come on. Let's live free. Let's live free. Let's live free. We are not going to be taken over. We're not going to be dominated. We're not going to live in fear. Be peaceful, people. Be prayerful. Look at 5-0. 5-0. Look at
Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA.
You don't want to live in a world like that. You don't want to live in a world like that. None of us want to live in a world like that. We already know Trump has no disregard.
The people united will never be divided. 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 The people united will never.
Yeah, what are we doing?
The people
We can't just follow blindly. We can't just follow blindly. Come on. We got to question these people who are in charge. We got to question them. We need answers. We need to know what's going on. We're not going to follow.
United will never be divided. The people
Stay united, folks. Stay united. Because right now, they're trying to divide. They're trying to divide. They're trying to divide this nation. Trying to divide this nation. Guys, Standing Rock, we got your back. Look at this. Standing Rock, we got your back. Standing Rock.
The people united will never be divided. 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 United will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. People united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. People united will never be divided. United will never be divided. The people united will never be divided.
Water is life, everybody. Water is life.
The people
Enjoy
united
it. Swim in
will never
it.
be divided.
Fish on it. You know, do all that. Ice fishing.
United.
They trying to silence us. We gotta stay united. Don't be hiding.
United.
Stay united. That's what we gotta do. No hiding, only uniting. That's what I'm talking about right there. You know what I'm saying? Woo!
United will never be
Yeah.
divided. People united
Yeah.
will never be divided.
Yeah.
United will never be People united will never be divided. The 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 people united will never be divided. People united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided.
So here in Los Angeles, that's the veteran building right there in front of us. That big tall white building in front of us. That's the veteran building. So VA, you got stuff going on, you go in there and you get your VA issues. I've been in there only one time to handle some VA issues or whatever. But yeah, that's the same place right up there. They got that going on right up there. So we're right in front of these federal buildings, letting the federal government know, hey, you know, we're not just only Native Americans out here protesting and doing what we gotta do to make what we gotta do right or whatever, you know, but there's all walks of life out here.
Absolutely.
And we're all just doing what we gotta do to make sure that our kids have a future. My grandkid, I just got a grandkid this summer, you know, I want to make sure he has a future. My little boy Kareem, you know what's up, Kareem? I love you, my little man. And but that's why we're out here. You know what? People may not understand this right now, and people may not, you know, want to jump on this side and get out of your comfort zone, get out of your little bubbles and stuff like that, but come on, man, this is real. Look at, and you know what? This is what democracy looks like right here. You know, this is what democracy looks like, everybody, right here. Yep. So that's what we're talking about right there.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Oh yeah! Stand united! No DAPL! Woo! Fight! Fight! Stand up! That's why they're trying to kill the Constitution, because they don't want us. Man, this threatens their money. Threatens their money.
This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
And I don't blame them.
Who said that?
What? You said that.
I didn't say that.
What?
What'd you just say?
That white people need to go out and get arrested because it's not he's not the Native Americans president, he's our president.
Oh, so you think that'll send a message?
If we go out and get arrested?
Yeah.
I think having white people get arrested is important because people pay better attention when white people get arrested.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Why is it called?
We have white privilege.
White privilege. There you go. Right there. There's America. Right there. Speaking truth. Right there. Woo! My white privilege girl right here. Yeah. So you're gonna get arrested if you gotta get arrested?
I have a 5-year-old son. My husband will kill me if I get arrested.
Oh, you better get arrested. Now we're gonna
I
hold
need
you
a few
accountable.
years to get arrested.
Oh,
I gotta
you got
take
a
care of my
5-year-old
boy.
son? Then guess what? Get arrested because his future, he needs this water.
I supported Bernie.
What are we getting arrested for?
Huh?
What are we getting arrested for?
Yeah, what are you getting arrested for?
I don't know, y'all. I'm not sure
talking-
specifically.
I don't think anybody's getting arrested tonight.
Not tonight.
If I have anything to say about
I
it.
thought it was like just in general. We
Yeah.
had to start putting our bodies out there.
Yeah. This guy's putting in his 2 cents over here, but yeah, in general, I hear what she's saying. Really, we don't want nobody getting arrested. We want peaceful, we want prayerful protests. The government wants us getting arrested. They want us doing violent things. They want us stopping traffic. They want us doing those things because they want to make laws to stop us from doing this kind of demonstrating right now. So in all reality, we do not want nobody getting arrested. We do not want nobody getting violent. Nobody throwing things, no agitators. Agitators must be brought down and taught. So if you're young and you're feeling like you're a fighter, you need to fight against this kind of stuff, then make sure that your fighting is peaceful, with prayer, with love, like what these guys are doing. All peaceful demonstration, and that's what's going on out here. So you guys just know that, all right, man? We love you. Hey, my phone has to be about dying. But Standing Rock, no, you got support out here. And we're out here. We're doing what we got to do to raise awareness. They're doing it all over America. Seattle, Chicago.
Bye, peace.
And it's all peace and love out here, you know? So let's make it happen. I love you guys. Any last words?
Yeah, let's go check out the speaker over there.
Peace out. I love you guys.
Seattle, Washington, Westlake. ¡Eh, amigo! Seattle, Washington, Westlake Mall, or Westlake Center. We've got Macy's right there. All these other fine buildings in Seattle. Still up? Still up? Are you good? Hey, Matt, what do you call me?
It's an honor drumming with you.
All right, so.
Huh?
They should have left that PA system over here.
Oh, yeah, I know, huh?
You did.
Did you guys get the message? Did you guys get the message? Right? What did I keep saying all day today? I go, it's time to stand up and take action. No matter which way you're at, sit there and be a part of something. Be about something. This is our land, our rights. As water protectors, all of us are now. It doesn't matter where you are, where you come from. This is going to affect each and every one of us. All of us. Woo!
Cucuxclanero de Donald Trump. Por eso el llamado es a toda nuestra comunidad a que se una a cualquier trinchera de los derechos humanos, ya sean de los derechos civiles y políticos, ya sea de la disputa real en el mundo actual, los derechos económicos y sociales, que pasa por la extracción del petróleo, que pasa por la violación del derecho a la vida. Por eso, únete a la lucha popular, únete y construyamos un sujeto popular revolucionario, el sujeto, el movimiento de los derechos humanos. Up with the people!
Hold on a second, sir. We're going to march as soon as
people! Up for the people!
Down with the pipeline!
Up for the people!
Down with the pipeline! Down with the pipeline! Down with the pipeline! Down with the pipeline!
where a rather large protest has formed. Everyone's obviously upset about the news today that among the many executive orders that have already been acted, one of them is to grant access to once again continue construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Right now, it's a pretty spontaneous gathering considering the news happened today. There was an event page that went up pretty quick, and everyone started gathering at the Federal Building just on Wilshire over here. And now everyone's marching. We're kind of making a bit of our way back to the Federal Building, but they've been stopping at certain intersections, forming drum circles, and people have been doing circular dance, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of obviously, you know, mixture of people, but there's a fair bit of indigenous activists here who are here in their you know, traditional attire, and brought drums and things that kind of remind us that this is an issue not just about oil, but about indigenous rights. And so it's pretty cool to see that that those same leaders that have been leading the way out in Standing Rock seem to be here as well, and keeping this a peaceful protest, and keeping the keeping the whole message here about peaceful resistance against the incursions of oil interests on indigenous rights, on nature. And so I'm going to jump back into the mix here. The protest the march itself, it seems to be growing. If I were to estimate, I would guess around 1,000 people. So I'm going to turn around here and get you back in the march, okay? So I guess what you could describe as our first altercation back there. Just someone yelling from their car, calling everyone spoiled. Nobody really reacted to it. I saw an egg get thrown into the crowd, and I'm not sure where it came from. We're kind of around some restaurants and stuff, so whether or not that's, you know, an active protest, or if it's just you know, people who are displeased and throwing eggs at protesters, it's hard to tell right now. But if that's the worst that's happening right now, I'd say things are all right. You know, a couple people yelling from cars and an egg or two, pretty mild by comparison to what's happened out at Standing Rock. You've seen some of our coverage of that and some of the national coverage around that. Water hoses in freezing conditions, tear gas, dogs, all sorts of projectile, non-lethal projectile ammunition. So by comparison, I think anyone who's been out there and been through that is probably pretty happy to have only minor disagreement from those who don't necessarily agree with what they're doing. Law enforcement has been very cooperative. They've marked off this route. So I think overall it's a pretty good peaceful showing. And it'll be interesting to see what happens the next few days, at least, as the consequences of this new executive order begin to take shape. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on it at Riot, and I know it's going to be an issue that once again takes center stage in national politics. So I'm going to turn it back around and get us back in the protest. So right now we're at the tail end of the march. It's moving pretty quickly back toward Wilshire, which means we are probably heading back to the federal building where this all began. All in all, I think the plan is to keep it pretty short. They had said on the event page it'd be about 6 to 9 o'clock p.m. And obviously not a lot of crowd control around here or anything. I think everyone has a sense that this isn't gonna really become anything too hectic. But then again, you never know the way things have gone. We have another circle here that's formed, and we're probably gonna dive in and see what's going on in there. There's been some speeches happening, burning of sage and other ceremonial herbs and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and dive back in and see what's going on.
The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided.
Okay, again, if you're just joining us, we're in West LA, where a protest has erupted over the decision today by newly inaugurated President Donald Trump to allow for the Dakota Access Pipeline, construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline to continue. It was obviously a decision that was met quickly by opposition. Harkening back to just a couple months ago when the protests at Dakota Access, at Standing Rock, kind of reached an apex. So right now, we're seeing that obviously that fight isn't over, and I think this show of support right now is obviously meant to signal to the president that the people haven't forgotten about those who still stand with Standing Rock, with the water protectors there, even as the camp has grown smaller and kind of winter, and obviously the decision by the Army Corps of Engineers to delay construction. So we are now witnessing what happens when decisions like that get overturned, and this is a very unhappy but peaceful public who have gathered to show their opposition to this type of decision, this affront to indigenous rights, and this affront to the rights of nature that many here have pledged themselves to protect. So we're honored to be here, and we're happy that it's been peaceful and that law enforcement's been cooperative and helped clear a route for people. Interestingly enough, we're passing a gym, so don't forget that there's people here who don't necessarily agree or find it interesting to come out and voice their opinion on a topic like this, but there's still plenty of people out there, even in Los Angeles, many of whom are indigenous themselves and have come out with a lot of their sacred items, their sacred attire, things that represent their culture and their particular tribe affiliations. Many of those are the ones leading this right now with drums and with chants and reminding us that this isn't just an issue about oil exploitation and obviously pipelines, zigzagging the country. This is about indigenous rights as well, and it's about water. It's about water protectors and making sure that everyone has access to the most essential component of life, something that in many indigenous cultures is sacred. And so we're here both to cover and show our support with the water protectors who have who've gathered here tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna turn it back around and walk with the protesters again as we head back, it appears, towards the federal building in western Los Angeles. It'd be interesting to hear from you guys where you stand on this. I think a lot of people, even who were obviously supporters of the No DAPL movement, felt a lot of relief last year when we learned that there would be no more construction, at least for the time being. But I think there's a lot of cautious optimism there, knowing that Donald Trump would be taking over the presidency, and he wasted no time in reversing some of those decisions. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone feels about this in the comments. And I know there's already been some debates going on, and that's all right. We encourage that. Obviously, keep it as clean as you can, and try to be as respectful and instructive and sharing your different insights. With that, we're going to go to where this march all began, and then we'll probably close things out here in just a minute.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and sign off as this protest comes
Water is life. 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 Water is life.
Thank you, relatives. I love all of you. Go in peace, people. Go in safety. Go in numbers. Be well, relatives. Go home to your loved ones tonight. Share with them this message here that we will continue to be out here in these streets to save our water, to save our planet, to save ourselves, to save our generations to come. Oh, we pledge to do this, folks. All right, thank you. Let's keep blowing up the White House phone line every day. Whose horn is this?
It's yours now.
Somebody has my phone too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next thing is the 14th of February, that weekend, the 11th. We're going to have an Indigenous Women's March. WOC, February 11th, WOC, Women of Color, and our accomplices and our allies, our white sisters, can show up. No elder will be denied at this particular march. So they're going to be rightfully respectful of our grandmothers and our elders of this land. The next thing after that is we're having Indigenous New Year, Mexica New Year, March 25th. With as many drums as we can fit at Grand Park. But we need you to call your senators tomorrow. We need you to call Congress, those select few who are actually on the right side of things. And Brother George, I want to thank you. Spirit Lake Drum, I want to thank you. Francis, I don't know where you are. I think the ocean of people swallowed you. I have your water, sweetheart. Water is life.
Water is life.
Brother Shannon, thank you. Saul, I don't know where you're at. Thank you. Meadow, thank you. And I want to thank everyone here for being peaceful, prayerful, and united, just like Standing Rock taught us. We can be angry, but we have to be peaceful, because you know what? It's more powerful than their arsenal. It's more powerful than their rubber bullets and their tear gas. So thank you for the prayers and your energy, and thank you for your love. Thank you.
I have nothing to say after this, but it was a very, very successful gathering. Thank all of you for responding, for stepping up and taking time out of your week to come be here and do what really matters. Bless you, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, you are dismissed. You don't have to go home. You don't have to go home.
I'm not good at
But we secure. Okay, we're gonna go to Norris. Who's going to Norris?
I just wanted to say thank you again for telling me how to know.
Yeah, pick up your trash.
Yeah, pick up your trash.
Pick up your trash.
And if we could go ahead and pick up our trash. Make sure to take your signs with you. Let's leave this ground prettier than we found it.